Vivo overtook Samsung and grabbed the number 2 spot behind Xiaomi in terms of total smartphones shipped in Q1 of 2020. Now, to keep the momentum going, the company has announced the V19 smartphone in India, which comes at a really opportune time as a lot of e-commerce vendors have started resuming their smartphone sales in the country. Now, I know a lot of you guys must have had this phone on your radar, so in this video, I'll talk about my initial impressions of using the same. But guys, before we get on with the video, make sure to hit the bell icon and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already, so that you don't miss out on any quality tech content that we put out. Now that you've done that, let's get on with the first impressions of the Vivo V19. Now, I have a lot of thoughts about the design of the Vivo V19, so let's start this video by talking about that. Now, from a distance, I'm being very honest with you, the V19 is quite possibly the most beautiful looking smartphone that I've ever laid my eyes on. The handset is available in two different finishes and I can't stop gawking at the silver variant sent to me. It looks really classy. I'm also glad Vivo didn't skimp on the materials for the construction of the V19, and what you have here is a phone that's constructed in entirety using glass. Oh, and the back of the phone, by the way, also comes with a layer of Corning's Gorilla Glass V6 for protection, which is great, but I'd still recommend you use the bundled protective case with the phone. In my limited time, the phone felt slippery and the camera module protrudes out quite a bit from the phone too, making it wobble when placed flat on a table. But phones with flush camera modules are a rarity these days, and therefore I can't really complain. However, the V19 does offer tactile physical buttons which have been positioned well too, so you don't have to readjust your grip every time you want to reach them. It also comes with a headphone jack which isn't high-res certified, but it's at least there, and a dedicated microSD card slot as well. Vivo takes security very seriously too, so you get the company's 6th generation fingerprint sensor with the phone, which worked like a charm every single time I used it. And the facial recognition tech bundled with the phone is extremely quick too, so no complaints here whatsoever. The design of the smartphone out of the way, let's talk about the display on the Vivo V19. So the smartphone comes with a 6.44-inch panel which comes with a full HD plus resolution, and the display is of the AMOLED variety, so you're going to get extremely good contrast and good viewing angles with the phone's display too. I didn't notice any color shift issues either, and the phone does come with support for HDR10 and is Widevine L1 certified too, meaning you can enjoy your favorite movies on the phone to the fullest. But yes, I am definitely missing a high refresh rate 90Hz display on the Vivo V19 and would have ideally liked it if the dual punch hole camera was placed on the left and not on the right. Now let's take a look at the smartphone's internals, and here the V19 feels slightly underwhelming. Now the smartphone is backed by Qualcomm's Snapdragon 712 processor, which made its debut with the Vivo Z1X, which was launched a while ago. The phone gets 8GB of RAM and either 128GB or 256GB of UFS 2.1 storage. The processor works alongside 8GB of RAM and comes with either 128GB or 256GB of built-in UFS 2.1 storage. While the phone works just fine for day-to-day usage, it does stutter when you're either juggling a lot of applications or are running intensive games like PUBG. If you are curious, then the phone can play PUBG at HD graphics and high frame rate settings, and if you are in the Call of Duty camp like me, then you will be able to run the phone at very high frames and very high graphics settings. I'll have more to say about the smartphone's performance in my full review, so stay tuned. V19 offers a really promising camera setup at the back, comprising of 4 different sensors, with the Samsung GM1 48MP sensor leading the show. The 48 megapixel camera is accompanied by an 8 megapixel ultra wide angle sensor, a 2 megapixel depth sensor, and a 2 megapixel macro lens. For selfies, the device gets a 32 megapixel Samsung GD1 sensor, which has been paired with an 8 megapixel super wide angle lens. I still need some more time to evaluate the cameras, but the camera samples will be on your screen right now, so have a look. Let me know what you think about the camera samples in the comments below, but so far, for me, the star of the show is undoubtedly the V19's front camera. The 32 megapixel front camera did its job really well, the images had a ton of details and they were exposed well too, and I was quite surprised with the low light selfies where Vivo is using this really cool software trick called aura lighting, which brightens the screen to cast a light on your face and shows you how the photo will look in real time. The rear camera samples look good too, but I had to manually expose images from time to time. Also, while the phone offers support for 1080p video recording at 60fps, the audio captured by the phone's built-in mic could have been louder. And with that, let's take a look at the Vivo V19's battery and software. So the V19 ships with a 4500 mAh battery, which is pretty beefy in my opinion. In fact, with my heavy usage, I was not able to kill the smartphone in a single day, which speaks volumes for its battery life. Plus, it helps that the phone comes with a 33-watt fast charger in the box, which per the company offers a 70% top-up in just 40 minutes. As for the software, the smartphone runs a skin of FunTouch OS version 10 on top of Android 10. Now, I've gotten used to the overall look and the feel of the skin by now, and while the version 10 of the skin is definitely an improvement, it still has a long way to go compared to other operating systems. And that finally brings us to the pricing of the Vivo V19. Now, as of making this video, I don't really have a handle on the pricing yet, but my guess is that this phone will be priced under Rs 30,000. Now, for the price, this is being positioned as a camera-centric phone, and it might make for an interesting option for offline buyers, but at the same time, I do wish that the company would have offered a more powerful CPU to begin with. Now, that being said, our full review of the smartphone is very well on the way, so do watch that before you pull the trigger on the Vivo V19, and that's where I'll have a lot more to say about the smartphone. But guys, that wraps up this video. Do let me know in the comments below if you enjoyed it, and if you did, do give us a big thumbs up. Until next time, this is Prateek from Mr. Phone signing off.